Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, I swear I'm not clickbaiting you. I'm serious. This is probably one of the biggest news stories of the entire year. As you will probably know, over the last 4 days or so, Bitcoin has been rallying. We've broken major levels of resistance. We've put in massive green candlesticks. We've had returns of volatility, volume, retail investor interest, and Bitcoin is looking pretty, but not without cause, guys. And one of those cause has to do with this news article. Bitcoin rallies 5% as U.S. regulator greenlights crypto bank custody. This news story came out yesterday, and it essentially means that banks are now allowed to be custodians of cryptocurrency, which means that not only Coinbase can hold it, but your local Wells Fargo can now hold Bitcoin custody if they so choose to do so. On top of that, guys, we've also just had some crazy big news coming out of Visa and MasterCard, as well as PayPal. Guys, I have been in the space for 3 years, and every single time a big news article comes out that everybody says, oh, this is it, this is different, this is world-changing, this is the beginning of Lambos for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, I'm always a little bit skeptical, but this time, guys, this is serious. Like, this is serious. So we're going to be diving into this in today's video. You guys are going to get a lot of value out of today's video, and of course, we're going to be doing some more analysis on Bitcoin since it is finally doing something interesting. As always, if you do enjoy today's video, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Thank you for the 10,000 views yesterday, and also the 1.1K likes. Let's see if we can break 1,300. I am not doing a backflip, even if we do, though. But anyway, before we just go ahead and dive on into it, I do want to mention that the sale on the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy is currently active. If you guys are looking forward to the bull market that's starting here in Bitcoin and you want to be able to be profitable in said market, you need to invest in your education. It is paramount that you understand not only how these markets operate, but how you need to operate in these markets, and that is what CT2A aims to teach. Guys, over the last 3 years, I've learned a lot working in these markets, and I teach you everything that I've learned in this academy so that you can get caught up to speed. Not in 2 years like it took me, but in maybe 2 weeks of going through a couple videos a day. I think you can commit to that. Anyway, guys, more on that at the end of the video. But for now, though, without much further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. This Canon EOS R is insane. So I went out and did a little photo shoot the other day with this camera, and I'm going to have Taylor throw some of the pictures that I got up on screen right now. I got some amazing pictures showcasing the depth of field on this camera. By the way, none of these pictures are edited. These are straight out of camera. These have not been run through Lightroom. This camera is nuts, and we are doing a lot of work with it behind the scenes. Some of it is very soon going to be coming directly to this channel, so look forward to that. I mean, guys, seriously, like, look. Oh, that right there. That's so cool. Look, you can see yourself in the viewfinder. I got the cameras looking at each other. If you guys haven't been living under a rock for the last couple of days, you will know that Bitcoin just had a major breakout above an all-important level of resistance called $9,475. Don't ask me why it's called that, but it is. In doing so, Bitcoin not only put a massive, perfect level of support right on our 20 daily exponential moving average, as of today's candlestick, we've also put a very pretty candlestick level of support exactly on that level of resistance that was resistance up until 2 days ago, which is now support. So let's go ahead and take this, and we need to change it all the way over to blue because it is support. Huzzah for bull market. Yeah. Guys, I'm excited. Let's go. Guys, not only is Bitcoin breaking out, not only have many different technical indicators already shown massive bullish signals, I want to show you this right here. The 20 daily exponential moving average is about to cross above the 50 daily simple moving average. As I've shown you on both the daily chart and the weekly chart, in the history of Bitcoin, whenever this happens, good things come. Let me show you. To get the easy one out of the way first, guys, the weekly chart on Bitcoin has only ever seen 4 of these crosses. One right there, one right there, one right there, and now one right here. Every single time. Bull market, bull market, bull market. What do you think comes next? As far as the daily chart's concerned, guys, the last golden cross we had between these two moving averages was right here. Before that, it was right here. We had a couple of fake outs in here, but before those, we had a golden cross right down here between those two moving averages. And even back in 2018, you could see that we would have a cross at the beginning of most of these rallies. Back into 2017, we had a golden cross there, golden cross there, golden cross there. Every single time that these cross right there, it almost invariably leads to a rally on the daily chart. On the weekly chart, it almost invariably leads to a bull market. So what have we just seen? We've just seen a golden cross between these two moving averages on the weekly chart, which signifies bull market, and we're seeing one on the daily chart in the next 2 days or so that signifies a shorter term uptrend. What more could we ask for? To not be interrupted while recording by Facebook Messenger. That's what we could ask for. Well, where I was planning on going with that transition is that there's nothing more that we could ask for except for U.S. regulators to greenlight bank crypto custody. Guys, I want to stress how important this is. Bitcoin surged 5% to 96.64 less than 24 hours after the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, which, by the way, I'm not going to lie to you, I have never heard of the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, but now I have, announced the U.S. banks can provide crypto custody services. On July 22nd, the OCC said banks in the U.S. are allowed to hold cryptocurrency. It's essentially given the green light to bank-operated crypto custodial services. Brian Brooks from the OCC said, from safe deposit boxes to virtual vaults, we must ensure banks can meet the financial service needs of their customers today. This opinion clarifies that banks can continue satisfying their customers' needs for safeguarding their most valuable assets, which today, for tens of millions of Americans, includes cryptocurrency. In keeping with the tradition here at the Crypto Jeb brand, we're not going to actually talk too much about, oh cool, banks get to hold cryptocurrency now, because you've already heard that. Here's what I find far more interesting than my hair falling down in front of my forehead. Here's what I find more interesting than this article is how he worded this. Let's take this number right here. 209 million Americans 18 and over, 75% of the population. I assume not too many people under the age of 18 are in cryptocurrency, although I got into cryptocurrency when I was 16, so, you know, there's some, but we're just going to run with it. Brooks here says this, which today, for tens of millions of Americans, includes cryptocurrency. One of the things I've been trying to drive home with you guys is the mass adoption of idea of the mass adoption of Bitcoin. Does that make sense? There are a lot of people right now at PayPal, at Square, at Stripe, at here at OCC, and the New York Stock Exchange, ICE that owns the New York Stock Exchange. There are plenty of different power players. Wells Fargo. There are plenty of different power players that understand the growth potential of Bitcoin. And you know, one thing I always did when I was a kid is that I knew nothing. Socrates once said, the ancient oracle says that I am the wisest of all of the Greeks, and that is because I alone know that I know nothing. And Socrates was very accurate in that because he didn't know anything. How much do you think he knew about astrophysics and quasars and gamma ray bursts back in the, 5th century BC? He knew nothing. And when I was growing up, I didn't know that quote by Socrates. I'd later find it, but I always lived by that. I'd look to people that were far more educated, far further ahead than I was, and see what they thought. And then, yeah, I'd do a little bit of critique on it, but I'd watch debates between two great minds, and I'd see what they think. And what I'm doing right now is exactly the same thing that I did in my childhood that led me to where I am today, which is looking to people that are more advanced than I am, that have a higher level, higher altitude, bird's eye view than I do, like the OCC, like people at ICE, like people at Stripe, like people at Square, like Jack Dorsey, like the people at PayPal, like the people at TD Ameritrade, like the people in some of these massive companies in the cryptocurrency space. I look to them and I say, what's their opinion and what are their biases? A lot of them have biases in favor of cryptocurrency, but many of them don't. Especially this article from the OCC. The reason this is interesting to me is, yeah, this is a big development, but the reason this is actually interesting to me is because it gives me another data point of someone that has a high altitude, bird's eye view of the American economy and is looking down on us, because that's what the federal government loves doing, is looking down and saying, wow, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency adoption is really starting to pick up. We should make sure that banks are able to handle this, since it seems like it's becoming part of our infrastructure financially. That is what interests me. So yes, banks being able to be crypto custodians is a fantastic thing, but I'm more interested in the opinion of that man, because that man is running an organization that can see from top down what the financial situation looks like in America, and I can't see that being one of the plebeians down here on the ground working, you know, for money and stuff. I'm not one of the lizard people up at the top, nor would I want to be. Anyway, guys, moving on here, there is obviously another news story that you've probably heard more about so far, and that would be this. Visa invites crypto aboard as U.S. banks giving green light to hold keys. Visa, in response to this news story that we just covered, has released some very intriguing news. On the same day that this news story came out, Visa published a blog post titled Advancing Our Approach to Digital Currency, in which it outlined some of its existing partnerships in the cryptocurrency industry and its current initiatives in the space. And by the way, guys, let's remember, one, our history, and two, who we're talking about. When I got into the space, there wasn't a chance that Visa would have been on board with cryptocurrency. In fact, Visa, MasterCard, and PayPal were more or less against cryptocurrency when I got into the space. Now they are seeing the writing on the wall, and they're realizing that they need to get on board or get left behind. That's the history. Secondly, the impact. Visa has 61 million merchants worldwide, and there's a pretty good chance that you have one of their cards in your wallet. We're not talking about little nickel and dime stores accepting Bitcoin anymore. We're not talking about, oh, cool, you can pay with Bitcoin at Subway. We're talking about a $400 billion market capitalization organization getting into the cryptocurrency space and endorsing it. The concept of digital currency, or a digital version of cash controlled by a private key, was created more than a decade ago with the launch of Visa. Bitcoin inaccurately said that's true. Today, fiat-backed digital currencies, commonly referred to as stablecoins, have emerged as a promising new payments innovation, combining the benefits of digital currencies with the stability of existing currencies like the United States dollar. It's a concept that is gaining traction beyond fintechs and now includes financial institutions and central banks. Consumers and businesses are also adopting digital currencies, and circulation is growing rapidly, reaching over $10 billion in May. And guys, this is the money shot right here. Visa has been working closely with licensed and regulated digital currency platforms like Coinbase and Fold to provide a bridge between digital currencies and our existing global network of 61 million merchants. Oh, and by the way, I'm not even going to go into this too much, but, PayPal is about to start doing cryptocurrency services. That's, just something I figured I'd sprinkle in there. It's really interesting to me, everything that's going on in the cryptocurrency space right now, and there's still people that think Bitcoin is going to crash very far. By the way, a lot of people said that I was in that camp. I was never in that camp. I did make a video about a week and a half ago before Bitcoin started rallying saying, what if Bitcoin pulls back to the 200 daily simple moving average? But if you go into that video, I specifically said I disagree with that theory. I have been bullish on Bitcoin since we pulled back to $4,000, and I have not changed my tune on the long-term perspective once. I've talked about short-term pullbacks, but I have been consistently bullish on this market ever since. And it is for reasons like these that we are able to be faithful in the cryptocurrency space and faithful towards the future and the progress of this space, even in times where Bitcoin seems bearish or downright boring. So what does the future of Bitcoin hold? A lot. It holds a whole lot. You can see it in the news. For any of you guys who have been in the space for more than 3 years like I have, I've been in the space for 3 years in exactly 1 week. That'll be my 3rd anniversary. I'm turning 3 in my crypto days. Anyone who's been in the space longer than I have, I challenge you, go into the comments section down below and tell people what the fundamental space looked like when you got into the market. If you got in 2014, 2015, did you see news stories every other week about Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, globally known $100 billion companies getting into the space, talking about cryptocurrency, endorsing it? Did you see that? You didn't. I know you didn't, but I want them to hear you down there. Because to conclude my rant, you may not have been in the cryptocurrency space for very long. You may have just gotten into the space in the last 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 months. You may still be a little green. And what that means is that you haven't seen the progression of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. That means that you may not have been here for the entire year of 2018, where I made a video every single day and there was nothing to talk about except for that one time in August when Bakkt was announced. If you've only been here since the beginning of this year, then you have not seen how much this space has grown. You will, however, be able to notice this. During all of this time that Bitcoin has been pulling back from $20,000, the underlying intrinsic value of Bitcoin, the news stories, the adoption, the awareness, the foundation, the fundamentals, everything has been moonshotting. We are undervalued. And markets, if you give them long enough, will eventually correct to where they belong as far as their deserved value, whatever that may be. And I can tell you one thing, I don't know exactly where it is on Bitcoin, but I can almost guarantee you it is significantly higher than where we sit today. So take comfort in the fact that the space is continuing to grow no matter what the price action does, and the price action rallying is showing that that much is true. Guys, I am very much looking forward to the next 6 months on Bitcoin. I'm very much looking forward to the next decade on Bitcoin, and I am very happy to be able to say that I've been here since 2017. I was here when Bitcoin was only 8 years old. It's now 11 years old, and I'll be here when it's 50. I am not going anywhere. I am seeing this through. I am seeing this to the finish, and I want you to come on that journey with me. If you are interested in doing that, hit the like and subscribe button down below. It helps the channel out, and you'll be getting these videos daily. Before we go, though, guys, I do want to mention one thing, and that is what makes this channel possible, and that is the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. Look, guys, I'm not lying to you when I say that learning technical analysis is a difficult thing to do. It takes time, it takes patience, it takes dedication, it takes faith that you actually can be profitable. And by the way, you can and you will be profitable completely proportional to the amount of time and effort and progress that you make in advancing your education and understanding and wisdom about cryptocurrencies. That is very important. You will only be profitable if you are continuously trying to improve. I've only managed to do the little bit that I've done with my life in the last few years because I have a passion for continually improving, and that is what is going to bring you to profitability in cryptocurrency, and that is what CT2A was designed to do, was to allow you guys to continue to advance your education in the cryptocurrency space, and I am happy to announce that this morning we passed 2,000 members in the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. 670 days ago when CT2A launched on September 23rd, 2018, I remember that day like it was yesterday. I remember we had just cut down about a 14-inch diameter pine tree in the front yard, and there was still the first 15-foot section sitting on the ground that we hadn't bucked yet. By the way, that's not a curse word. That's a technical term for in the logging industry. And I was sitting out there on my phone just watching as people joined the academy that I've been working on so hard for the last 2 months before that. And I will never forget the feeling that I had about how my life had just changed and how I was about to change a lot of other people's lives in teaching people how to read, analyze, and profit in cryptocurrency markets. Guys, I am so incredibly proud of what we've done, and I'm so incredibly proud of everyone who has gone through CT2A and seen improvement. And believe me, there have been a lot of people who have done so. If you want to learn technical analysis, if you want to learn how to do exactly what I do in these videos, analyze these markets, pick out the things that are really important and profit in them, then you're going to need to analyze the markets in the right way. You're going to need to approach the markets in the right way, and you're going to need to invest in your education in one way or another, either by doing it with an exorbitant amount of time trying to learn it on your own. Believe me, it'll take you over a year or two to learn everything in CT2A, or you could join the academy and be through all the videos this time next week. It's really your choice. Guys, the fact of the matter is you can make as much money as you want, but time is finite. How much time do you want to spend trying to learn cryptocurrency on your own when instead you could join CT2A, linked in the description down below, and have it all put right in front of you, served to you on a silver platter so that you can get started and not spend the next year trying to learn everything. Believe me, that's how I did it. Someone asked me in the comment section yesterday, how did you learn technical analysis? Blood, sweat, tears, and a lot of time. That's how I learned it. It took a very, very, very long time, and CT2A is designed to cut down on that time. So if you want to advance your education and your profitability in this space, links down below. You can use the July 2020 coupon code at checkout. I decided to extend that through the end of the month because so many of you guys have been enjoying it. But guys, that is pretty much going to wrap it out for today's video. I am really excited about where this company is going. I'm really excited about where this channel is going, and I'm really excited for Bitcoin because I know it's going to bring awesome gains for all of you guys. We've been running this channel for 2.5 years now, and I've probably missed maybe 30 days in that time. And I am so incredibly excited for where we're going. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for staying tuned for the last 2.5 years. Here's to another 25. But guys, that is going to have to wrap it out for today's video. But before I go though, guys, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching. As always, man, I got a real good feeling. And I will see you guys next video. Peace.